Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel for another video. Today I'm going to be doing a brand new video on my channel. I've never done this video, and that is sharing my entire daily routine as a homeschooling mom of 4. And I want to thank today's video sponsor. It is Audible. You guys may not know this, but fall is the best time to start new routines, new habits, and Audible is definitely a part of me getting back into my homeschooling routine, cooking dinner early routine. As you can see here, I am listening to a book as I do that. But yeah, we're going to talk a little bit more about Audible as we get going. So this video was filmed over the course of about 14 hours. Of course, I could not share every single thing that I do in a day, but I did my best to capture it for you. I do want to briefly mention that this day that I am sharing with you guys is what I would consider to be a working day for me. So you're not going to see my typical afternoon workout, which is what I do generally once I'm done homeschooling for the day prior to dinner prep and activities with the kids. So that is the usual. This was filmed on a working day. All right, we're starting. 6:20, I am out of bed. That may be early to some of you, late to some of the others. That's my preferred time. I'm generally up by 6:30. I do my whole skincare routine, making my bed routine, letting the dogs out, all that good stuff. And my kids are generally getting up by 7, but we're focusing on my routine, not theirs. I'll share more about that in another video probably to come. So making my bed every day has been a habit since I was a little girl. It's something that I just have to do. I cannot handle it. So that's what I'm doing here. So while I grab my morning cup of coffee, I will look over my planner and just make sure that I am checking any boxes that need to be checked as far as work goes, any deadlines, any important things. I always pour myself a cup of coffee and take it back upstairs on work days because I generally will do my hair and makeup on these days, which is what I am doing here. I shower at night and blow dry my hair straight at night, and then I can curl it or flat iron it, whatever I'm doing in the morning when I get ready because I am going to be filming. I had high aspirations on this day to film more than just one piece of content, but I was not able to do that. So just celebrating the fact that we are back into our homeschooling rhythm. This was the first week back, and I was able to get some work done. So that's a win. One video is a win. So I'm just getting ready here, sipping on my coffee, and sometimes I'll listen to a podcast on Audible during this time. On this morning, I was wanting a little bit of quiet and just kind of centering myself. So getting all ready. While I'm doing that, my kids are simultaneously getting ready for the day, doing their hair, brushing teeth, going about their chore routines, making their breakfast. They know what they're supposed to be doing. Here I am getting a little bit of morning work done. I have very strict phone rules for myself during school hours, so anything that needs to be posted, shared, emailed, I am doing that before we start our homeschool. That's a part of my work day routine. I actually do that every day, but you guys are gonna see here, I was sharing some Instagram stories, some different things that I was responsible for sharing, some different things I wanted to share. And so I try to handle posts on Instagram stories, email replies, all of that in the morning before we get going with our school day, which is what you are seeing me do here. So once I'm done with my posts that I needed to put up, then I head on downstairs. You can see my kids are all making breakfast, chatting with each other, sometimes fighting with each other. You never know what you're gonna get. I think they were getting along this day. I am down here ready to make my breakfast. I generally keep my breakfast high in protein, and I know on this day I definitely reached that goal. I had some Trader Joe's chicken sausages, some eggs, lit a candle. It just sets the tone for the day. I think I was playing some music in the background, and we always make sure the kitchen gets cleaned up after breakfast. So someone's chore every day of the week, whether it's mine or my kids, is unloading the dishwasher. And then all those breakfast dishes get handled right away. So that way I'm not starting my day off already behind. Now we're gonna jump forward a little bit to running errands. That's coming later in the video, but I wanted to thank Audible for sponsoring today's video. I already shared with you guys that fall is a great time for getting back on track with old routines or new routines. And Audible has you covered, whether you want to learn a new skill, you want to listen to something fun after a long day of homeschooling for a brain break, that is what I am doing here, or you want some company on your treadmill for cardio time. Audible can be there for all of those. Listening on Audible makes all of those things more enjoyable. New members can get 1 month free by heading to audible.com/graceandgrit or texting code graceandgrit to 500-500.
Do you miss me at all? Do you think about the things we used to do?
So jumping back in, we are back to real time. You guys will see that same footage later on in the day, which is actually when it was taking place in the sequence of events. I'm not running errands before our homeschool day. That was taken, later in the day, as you're gonna see. So we're sitting down here for morning time, doing Bible time together as a family. I am homeschooling. We have a very strict rule of starting by 8:30 every single day. That is something that I am going to make sure that I'm doing everything in my power to get us to the table at 8:30. Sometimes we get a little relaxed and it turns into 9, and then sometimes 9:15, and we just cannot do that this year. We have lots to get done and different schedules and things we're juggling. So 8:30 start time it is, but one thing I am not willing to compromise on is starting the day in scripture with my kids. So I'm upstairs now doing a history lesson with my younger 2 kids. My older 2 kids were doing history downstairs, and you guys are gonna see me homeschooling here. These short little clips are what is reflective of 8:30 to 12 o'clock. Because when we get to the lunch clip, that's about lunch, what time we take lunch every day is around noon, 12:15. So keep that in mind. The morning time clip was starting around 8:30, and the lunch clip is about 12. So we've already been at it for almost 4 hours at that point. So after lunch, it is back upstairs for finishing up our homeschool day. I was working with my youngest here on some math corrections, but everyone always has things to finish up. Gone are the days of being done by lunchtime. It's not even realistic with middle school, high school, and dual enrolled in college. So once everyone is done with their school day, then it is afternoon coffee time. Jake gets home around this time in the afternoon, and so I am making us both a coffee so we can chat with each other about how his day at work went. Sometimes I'm unavailable because I'm still homeschooling, but if I am freed up by the time he comes in, I try to, spend some time with him because we don't have a ton of time together on the days that he works. He's taking kids to activities, I'm taking other kids to activities, and he has to go to bed very early because his shifts start very early. So I'm making us both a coffee here, which you can see. And if you saw me making funny faces while I was making the coffee, I was showing my son how to gargle salt water because he had a canker sore that was bothering him. And it was the first time he was kind of doing that. So I was trying to show him what to do. So I'm just kind of cleaning up the kitchen a little bit after lunch and making coffee. And the dogs always take the towels down. And here he is. My husband is home, so chatting with him. The dogs, you can see they're really excited that I'm able to give them some attention too. And then he moves right over to Jake. So doggy, coffee, husband, chat time. And then we always have kids that trickle in anytime we're sitting down to talk to each other. After that, I did have an errand that I needed to run, and anytime I'm alone in my car, I will turn on my audiobook from Audible and play it. I got back from my errand. I actually kept my headphones in. It's a lot. Homeschooling is a lot, and sometimes I just need a little bit of quiet and I can't really get it. So I will put in some headphones and prep dinner before activities. That way it's all ready for me. And when I get back from whoever's sport I'm taking them to, dinner is practically made. All I need to do is reheat it or serve it up or, whatever. So I'm doing some early dinner prep here. This is some organic beef, homemade sloppy joes. That's what we were having. And then I just did some roasted potatoes and a salad on the side. You guys will see that later. But this is before we head out to activities. So this is after my errands, and then I just was gonna leave this on the stove simmering for a little bit. I had older kids at home, but I made dinner, so it was ahead. Always out the door with a protein smoothie in the afternoon, and there's everybody's dinner back home from dance. Now it's time to sit down and have dinner. After dinner, I sat with my oldest daughter and we went over her writing assignments for her first college English class. Right now, we're kind of tackling that together. I know she'll get to a point of where she's comfortable on her own, but this was at the beginning of the school year. So of course, she needed me. After I did that, it was time to set the table for the homeschool materials to do it all over again the next day. This is about 7:45 p.m. and you guys, the camera started, if you remember, you saw my phone at about 6. So we're going on like 13 hours here, 14 hours. And what I did not show you was that after I set the table and got the kitchen all cleaned up from dinner and all that, I went upstairs, took a shower, and wanted to sit down and edit this video, but I was exhausted. And so instead I went to bed at about 9 o'clock and it did feel very good. So that is a look at a truly typical working day in my life. Like I told you guys, I did not work out on this day because it was a work day. I had hopes to film more and I just was not able to, and that is okay. But yeah, I hope this gives you an idea of what my typical routine looks like and my flow to my days, and I hope it's helpful to you guys. Make sure you check out the links to Audible, and the code again is Grace and Grit. You can text it to 500 or head to audible.com/graceandgrit and get your free month trial. There is something on there for everyone. All that information's down below. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed today's video, and I will see you guys again really soon. Bye, friends.